Chike was a young, humble billionaire, a self-made tech genius who built one of the biggest delivery apps in Africa. He drove sleek cars, lived in a glass penthouse overlooking the Lagos skyline, but never boasted about it. One radiant afternoon, fate brought him face to face with Amanda, a captivating young woman. Amanda wasn't just beautiful, she was a celebrated fashion influencer with thousands on Instagram, known for her flashy lifestyle and her endless obsession for luxury. Chike couldn't ignore the quiet charm she carried. In a city where most people chased appearances, Amanda stood out with her natural poise and effortless grace. Their first words felt unforced, and soon laughter and stories passed between them as though they had been old friends reunited. Chike admired her fearless honesty and the calm strength in her voice. Amanda, in turn, was amazed at how a man of his wealth carried no trace of arrogance. From that moment, Chike's feelings for her grew deeper, and soon they officially became a couple. They were almost inseparable, always spotted together, whether at the mall or on late-night drives around the city. He wasn't afraid to show the world how much he loved her. Chike always took Amanda out and surprised her with expensive gifts. Sometimes, he whisked her away on vacations or invited her to conferences, proudly introducing her as his woman. Amanda enjoyed every single moment. She smiled to herself, convinced she had finally found the man who could give her the life she had always dreamed of, a life that felt like her perfect happy ending. Shopping trips quickly became part of their routine. At home, Amanda would pull out her ring light, smooth her hair, and beam into the camera. "Went out with my boo. Guys, you won't believe what I picked today. Can you even guess how much this bag costs?" Another day she'd giggle, "Unboxing time," while Chike, sprawled on the couch, laughed and teased, "Don't forget to tell them who paid." Oh, her followers loved those moments. It felt like they were right there in the living room with them. But beyond the glamour and the posts, they also found joy in simple things, trying out cozy cafes, grabbing small chops by the roadside, and enjoying life in each other's company. For Chike, true happiness returned, not from the weight of his riches, but from the warmth of someone who valued him for who he really was. Their love blossomed, and just 6 months later at a luxury restaurant in Victoria Island, Chike went down on one knee, holding out a diamond ring that glittered like the stars. "Amanda, will you marry me?" he asked, his voice full of love. Amanda screamed, jumped, and burst into tears of joy. "Yes. Yes, I will marry you," she cried, her hands shaking as he slipped the ring on her finger. Of course, she posted the video online, and within minutes, it was trending, #wedding of the year loading. Her comment section exploded. Friends shouted with her through their screens, while the online in-laws rejoiced as if it was their own wedding. Her best friend Kamzi called immediately, squealing into the phone, "Babe, you're lucky-o. You've made it. You've landed a billionaire tech guru as a fiancé. Omo girl, you will never suffer again. Enjoy, my darling, God has you." Then with a playful sigh she added, "Please, oh God of Amanda, locate me too." At the introduction ceremony, both families finally met. Amanda's father, a loud man who loved money, smiled all through while he proudly held the wedding list. "My daughter loves him, so we agree," he declared with joy. Chike's parents, though wealthy, carried themselves with calm wisdom. His mother gently held Amanda's hands, her eyes soft with sincerity. "Take care of our son," she said warmly. "He loves you so dearly, please don't break his heart." The wedding countdown came with extravagant spending. Chike spared no expense as he and Amanda toured boutiques, trying on outfits and accessories. Amanda chose a dramatic gown with a wide train, smiling proudly. "Babe, I want this wedding to be the wedding of the year," she boasted. Chike only cared about her smile. He paid for shoes, glittering jewelry, and even arranged entertainers to make the celebration unforgettable. Invitations were designed on glossy cardstock and were dispatched. Meanwhile, Amanda shared a pre-wedding clip of herself dancing and saying, "My dreams are about to come true, marrying a tech billionaire, check. Becoming a big influencer, check. Living wealthy, check." On the eve of the wedding, Chike lay restless in his room. Joy buzzed through his chest like electricity. He walked in circles, humming to himself, then stopped to gaze at Amanda's portrait on his bedside. With a tender smile, he whispered, "Thank you for being you and accepting me. I'll spend the rest of my life loving you." Elsewhere, Amanda and her bridesmaids were tucked away in a lavish penthouse suite. Laughter and chatter filled the air, but when Amanda's phone buzzed, she excused herself. "Hey love," she murmured into the receiver. "Yes, I miss you too, but don't worry. This wedding is only business. Once I get what I want, I'll come back to you. You're the one I truly care about." She let out a soft laugh, lowering her voice. "Yes, I'm marrying him for the wealth. Afterward, we'll disappear together as planned. I love you so much. What she didn't realize was that someone else was listening. At the far end of the balcony, half hidden in the shadows, Chaik stood still. He had come to surprise her with a diamond necklace, a symbol of the forever he dreamed of with her. Instead, the words he heard pierced him deeper than any blade. The little box slipped from his trembling hands. The gift meant to seal their love now burned in his sight, a cruel reminder of what would never be. Chaik wandered through the streets, feeling like his world had completely fallen apart. The night air bit at his skin, but it couldn't touch the chill in his chest. He reached his car, sank into the seat, and let his forehead rest against the steering wheel. Tears slid silently down his face. A few minutes later, Leo arrived at their favorite spot. Chaik, I've been looking everywhere for you. You weren't answering your calls and I just knew you'd be here, he said, worry written all over his face. I even called Amanda. She says she hasn't seen you. What's going on? Chaik lifted his head slowly, eyes red and swollen. Leo's voice rose in shock. God. Chaik, what happened to your face? Chaik's voice broke as tears rolled down his face. I heard her, bro. She said I'm just her ATM. That she'll marry me for the wedding hype, then run back to her real boyfriend. Leo's eyes widened. What? He slammed his hand on the table. After everything you've done for her, the gifts, the trips, the love. Bro, you treated her so well and she was just ungrateful. She didn't even love you. What did I do wrong? Chaik whispered, voice shaking. I gave her my heart, Leo. Why would she betray me like this? You didn't do anything wrong, bro. You only loved the wrong woman. And trust me, I'm with you on whatever move you want to make. Chaik swallowed hard and wiped his tears before video calling his parents. Mom. Dad. His voice was weak, barely above a whisper. Please. I need to talk to you. On the other side, his mom's face turned pale with worry. My son. What happened? She screamed. Chaik couldn't hold back his tears. Seeing him so upset, Leo quickly grabbed the phone. Mom, don't worry. We'll come home soon. He's fine, he reassured her. Later that night, once Chaik had calmed down, he tried to call his parents and explain everything, but the words wouldn't come out. Mom, please don't say a word to Amanda, he begged, his voice trembling. Back at the penthouse, Amanda was busy filming TikToks in her silk robe, showing off her glittering nails and sparkling engagement ring. Tomorrow, guys, I officially become Mrs. Chaik, the tech billionaire, she said proudly to her followers. I'm fully off the market. Her girlfriend laughed. Girl, you don't hammer oo. Enjoyment no go finish for your side. Amanda's laughter was soft, her eyes glinting. They don't realize, the penthouse is only temporary. My name on his account, nothing more. Soon I'll be gone. Chaik sat in his apartment. His hands trembled as he held a glass of untouched whiskey. Leo paced restlessly, his jaw tight. This is madness, bro, pure wickedness. She was never in love. You were just her content plan. There was a knock at the door. Chaik's parents stepped in. But when they saw their son, his eyes swollen from crying, their smiles vanished. My son, talk to me. What happened? His mother asked softly, worry trembling in her voice. Chaik swallowed hard. Mum, there's no wedding. Amanda doesn't love me. She's only marrying me for my money. I heard her myself. She plans to leave me and run back to another man. His mother gasped and stepped back, covering her mouth with her hand. Oh God. Amanda? The one I welcomed like a daughter? My son, how could she do this to you? His father added, you narrowly escaped disaster, son. His mother nodded, tears in her eyes. Thank God he revealed her true colors before it was too late. Meanwhile, across town in her bridal suite, Amanda was live-streaming, her voice dripping with excitement for the audience watching. Makeup artists swarmed around her, brushes and palettes flashing under the lights, as she twirled in her silk robe, laughing for the camera. The room buzzed with music, chatter, and the glow of admiration, but beneath the glitz, her secret plan lingered like a shadow she refused to acknowledge. Tomorrow, I officially become Mrs. Tech Billionaire, she said, laughing with her bridesmaids. After this, my soft life is locked in forever. At the event center, guests began arriving in dazzling designer outfits, their laughter mingling with the sound of music. Celebrities paused gracefully, striking poses as photographers' flashes lit up the carpet, while influencers lifted their phones high, streaming every detail live. The atmosphere buzzed with glamour and excitement, and the hashtag Chaik and Amanda 2025 was already trending across social media. Then the doors opened. Chaik entered, sharp in his custom Italian suit, Leo at his side. He walked down the red carpet like a king, but behind his calm smile, fire burned in his chest. The world thought they were about to witness a fairy tale wedding. They didn't know they were about to witness a scandal. The hall stood still as the choir hummed softly. Chike stood calmly at the altar, eyes burning with pain but face unreadable. A few minutes later, a shiny black G-Wagon pulled up. Amanda stepped out, glowing in her diamond-studded white gown with a bouquet in her hand. Cameras clicked, influencers went live, and guests gasped at her beauty. Her bridesmaids followed closely behind, dressed in lovely champagne gold gowns, smiling as they walked together. The hall erupted with cheers. "Here Comes the Bride" played, and Amanda walked the red carpet with slow confidence. Behind her veil, she smirked to herself. Finally, soft life locked in. She reached the altar, slipped beside Chike, and the pastor's voice boomed. "Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today, to join this man and this woman in holy matrimony." Chike's hands were sweaty and his heart raced. He glanced at Amanda, her smile bright and confident, completely unaware of the storm brewing behind her eyes. Every guest leaned forward, waiting for the vows that would soon bind them together. Then the pastor asked, "Chike, do you take Amara to be your lawfully wedded wife, to love and cherish in good times and bad, for richer or poorer, until death do you part?" Chike froze. His hand tightened around hers, but inside, his mind screamed with the truth he had just uncovered. He couldn't say, "I do." The words wouldn't come. The room grew tense, silence pressing down on everyone. All eyes were on him. Finally, he lifted his head, his voice strong but filled with hurt. "Pastor, please, may I have the microphone?" Chike's voice trembled at first, but with each word it grew steadier. "Praise the Lord, church. Thank you for coming. I know many of you traveled far to celebrate with us. But before this wedding goes any further, there is something you all deserve to know, the truth." The crowd leaned forward, hanging on his words. Amanda's grip on her bouquet tightened. "I love this woman. I gave her my loyalty, my respect, my heart. I was ready to call her my wife today." Amanda forced a nervous smile, reaching for his hand, trying to look innocent. But in front of everyone, Chike gently pulled his hand away. Gasps rippled through the hall. Phones flashed, whispers spread like wildfire, and the tension in the church grew heavier with every passing second. Chike looked straight into her eyes. "But what do I get in return?" His voice thundered through the mic, echoing across the hall. The crowd shifted uneasily, whispers darting from row to row. Some guests leaned forward, others glanced nervously at Amanda. Chike's chest rose and fell as he steadied himself. Then he continued, his tone sharper, cutting through the silence. "Betrayal. What? A woman who promised me forever, while planning to take my money and run back to another man. Last night I went to her. I was excited, I was happy, until I heard her voice. She was on the phone with another man." Murmurs swept across the hall. Amanda's eyes widened, her lips trembled. "Chike, please," she whispered. But he pressed on, voice sharp as a blade. "She told him she doesn't love me. She said she's only marrying me for my money. That once we're married she'll take what she wants and run back to him. She called me a fool." The hall exploded in shock. Gasps turned into shouts. Someone screamed, "Oh my God," while another voice cried, "Che, what is this?" Phones shot into the air. Live streams rolling, TikTok videos already capturing every second, hashtags beginning to spread like fire. Amanda's bouquet slipped from her trembling hands, petals scattering across the floor. Her eyes filled with panic as she reached out desperately. "Please, please let me explain," she begged, her voice breaking, her once perfect smile nowhere to be found. Chike raised a calm hand. "Explain what?" Chike's voice rang out, firm and unshakable. "I heard you with my own ears. You said I'm just your ticket out of poverty." The crowd froze, the weight of his words sinking in. Amanda's face drained of color. Turning to the altar, Chike lifted his chin, his voice steady and strong. "But Pastor, I cannot marry a woman who used me. This wedding—" He paused, his chest rising as he gathered himself. Gasps filled the room. Some guests whispered, others stared in shock. Amanda's confident smile faltered, replaced by panic. "Baby, what's going on?" she whispered. "You know I love you." Chike let go of her hand, stepping back. "I cannot and I will not marry you. This wedding ends now." Silence fell again, heavier than before. The man who was supposed to be happy at the altar had instead become the center of a shocking revelation. The church screamed in shock. Amanda fell to the marble floor, her body limp like a doll. The bridesmaids hurried to her side, their makeup already smudged, one of their wigs slipping as they bent over her. Someone quickly tore open a sachet of water and poured it on her face, but nothing could cool the heat of shame burning inside her. The whole hall watched in silence, hearts heavy. Cameras didn't stop. Click, flash, livestream comments rolling in. Hashtag betrayal at the altar. Hashtag fiancé exposed. Hashtag love or money. Within minutes, blogs carried the headline, Groom cancels wedding at altar after bride's secret exposed. Amanda's friends quietly slipped out one by one. Even Kamsi, her closest confidant, switched off her phone and disappeared. Her mother dropped to her knees beside her, hands trembling as she tried to lift Amanda's head. Tears streamed down her face as she whispered, her voice breaking, "Amanda, what have you done to yourself?" At the back of the hall, her father stood frozen, his shoulders heavy, his eyes clouded with shame. He could not bring himself to move forward. Meanwhile, Chaik stood tall. His best man Leo leaned close and whispered, "You did the right thing, bro." Chaik gave one last look at the chaos, then turned and walked out of the church, free, dignified, unbroken. Amanda stayed on the floor, her once flawless gown now stained, her false lashes gone, her wig slipping to the side. Just minutes ago she was praised as the bride of the year. Now she lay broken before everyone, the talk of the nation, the center of cruel laughter. The whispers were no longer behind her back. They were loud, open, merciless. So she only wanted his money? God has exposed her today. There is no reward for fake love. The voices in the church rose in a storm of judgment. Outside, the chaos spilled into the streets, people shouting and pushing, cameras flashing nonstop. Breaking news, a reporter cried out, shoving a mic toward the entrance. Chaik, the wealthy groom, has cancelled his wedding, after catching his bride's betrayal. Chaik said nothing. His face was calm but unreadable. At his side, his best friend Leo stepped forward, raising his hands to hold back the sea of reporters. Leo raised his hands firmly. No more questions. Step back. The truth is clear, this wedding is finished. He needs some peace. At home, Chaik's mother hugged him tightly. You were brave, my son. You found the truth before it hurt you more. Chaik sighed, loosened his tie, and stared at the blank wall. His phone buzzed relentlessly, thousands of messages, millions of views. Screens everywhere exploded with the story, celebrities and blogs were sharing it like wildfire. Chaik let out a slow breath. The room was quiet, but the world outside was burning. Then came a post that ruined Amanda's reputation. Her secret lover wrote. She wanted the spotlight, but all she got was shame. I never pushed her to hurt him. This was her choice. That night, Amanda screamed and threw her phone. Calls from family poured in. Memes mocked her fainting at the altar. Her name became a joke. Chaik meanwhile felt trapped by fame. Even in his mansion, whispers followed him. One morning while drinking tea with Leo he said, I need to leave. If I stay here this pain will kill me. Leo nodded. Where will you go? Somewhere quiet where nobody knows me, he said. Chaik had left the world of wealth behind. No mansions, no flashing cameras, just quiet streets and small apartments in a coastal town where everyone knew each other by name. He rented a tiny room above a bakery, wandered the streets helping vendors carry crates, and greeted the locals with a warm, friendly smile. Nobody knew he had once been a billionaire. One morning, while Chaik was walking past the town's busy bookshop, he noticed a young woman struggling with a heavy stack of books that threatened to topple over. She wore a faded cardigan, scuffed shoes, and her hair was tied loosely with a ribbon. Her eyes were focused, yet distant, and there was a tension in her shoulders that pulled at him. Here, let me help you with that, Chaik offered, kneeling beside the pile. She looked up, startled. Oh, thank you, she whispered, her voice soft. I'm fine. She trailed off, embarrassed. I'm Chaik, he said with a gentle smile. New in town. Let me help you carry these. Her name was Amira. As they walked together, she told him about the small community center she ran for children, helping with homework, teaching life skills, giving them a safe space. Her voice trembled as she spoke of the challenges, the limited resources, the long hours, but also of the joy and love she found in her work. Chaik listened quietly. Finally he said, sometimes the heart carries so much on its own. Sharing it doesn't make you weaker, it makes it lighter. In the following weeks, Chaik and Amira kept running into each other, not by accident but by choice. He helped paint murals at the community center, fix broken chairs, and even coached a few of the children in soccer. Slowly, Amira's laughter returned, rich and bright, echoing across the little courtyard. One afternoon, while arranging flower pots by the entrance, Amira looked at him shyly. Why do you keep coming back? Chaik paused, holding a small watering can. Because hope grows best when it's nurtured. And I like seeing it bloom around you. Seasons passed. The community center thrived, not just with flowers and murals, but with the love and care Amira poured into it and Chaik by her side. As the evening settled, he led her to a quiet corner of the park, where the glow of the town lights spilled softly over the benches. The air smelled faintly of grass and cool evening breeze, and the distant hum of the town felt far away. He reached into his pocket and pulled out a delicate necklace. "I'll be leaving soon," he said softly, "but before I go, I need you to know this. You've shown me that love isn't about riches or grandeur. It's about honesty, kindness, and courage. Will you let me be part of your life, Amira?" Her eyes filled with tears. "Yes," she whispered. They married quietly at the town courthouse, with only a handful of witnesses present. The ceremony was simple, just the soft murmur of vows, a few smiles, and the echo of their hearts in the small room. Amira stayed in the town she loved, and her heart had found a home with Chaik. Meanwhile, a woman from Chaik's past, once obsessed with his wealth, watched from a distance. She had chosen ambition over love and now realized the cost: happiness slipping away, untouchable. Their life wasn't perfect, but it was theirs, filled with patience, understanding, and quiet, enduring love. And every evening as the children played in the courtyard, Amira would glance at Chaik and smile, grateful that sometimes, love finds you in the most unexpected places. They returned home together and Chaik led Amira into the living room. His parents were waiting, curious and warm-eyed. His mother immediately reached out, taking Amira's hands in hers. "Welcome, my dear," she said, her voice full of tenderness. "You have a good heart and we're so happy to have you in our family." His father gave a gentle nod, a rare smile tugging at his lips. "Take care of each other," he said. "Love is a gift and it grows stronger when you nurture it." Amira's eyes glistened and Chaik squeezed her hand, feeling the weight of happiness settle in his chest. "Thank you," Amira whispered. "I promise I'll do my best." His mother smiled, her eyes shining with emotion. "That's all we ask. Blessings on both of you, may your love be endless and your hearts always find each other." Chaik felt a deep, peaceful joy, knowing that not only had he found Amira, but she had also found a home and family that accepted her completely. Thank you so much for watching this story all the way to the end. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel so you never miss another beautiful story. Your support means the world. Thank you for being here.